During family reunions, I woke before the sun rose. I'd struggle to crawl across the basement floor over one, maybe two people, and stretch out to press the familiar button of an old TV. Sitting down as the static electricity activated with a pop around the screen, I'd grab a controller and flip on one last switch. Then, the screen illuminated with the spinning Nintendo 64 logo, a colored 3D capital letter N. Along with my cousins, I slept in my grandparents' basement. To me, a 6-year-old kid whose cousins were twice my age, it meant a week of fun. To them, it was a week of tolerating a younger cousin. Matthew, Kyle, and Sarah were like the older siblings I never had, dealing with me as any older brother or sister would a younger sibling. I was the annoying little kid who woke them up too early, always wanted to wrestle, and interrupted their one-on-one soccer games. However, one reunion they brought with them something that finally connected us: a black box and a backpack filled with loose game cartridges. I watched from behind as Kyle explored a world of monsters and puzzles with his sword, shield, and a strange talking white light called Navi. I challenged my cousins in battles where we used a variety of different pocket-sized monsters. Then, we faced off on top of a castle, fighting each other to the death in the hopes that we would become strong enough to defeat the creepy and rather handy villain at the end of the adventure. Every morning of that reunion, my cousins woke to the muffled eruption of victory and a deep sigh from myself. I trained in secret so I wouldn't bore them. I never wanted to stop playing with them on that little black box. The N64 was more than a simple possession. It gave us a connection deeply rooted in competition and fun. I rarely got time with Matthew, Kyle, and Sarah that was genuinely enjoyable for all of us, but the Nintendo 64 gave it to us. To this day, I still ask Kyle about the old Legend of Zelda games. I'll talk to Sarah about how I have never had time to complete a Pokemon game. And I continue to tell Matthew about new combos I've learned to perform in Super Smash Bros. 64. At every family reunion, we bust out the old game console and blow the dust out of the little 2.5 by 4.5 inch game cartridges for a short stroll down a pixelated memory lane. The time spent on the TV screen in the basement of my grandparents' house leveled the playing field between us. While we played, they didn't look down on me. I was no longer the annoying younger cousin. I became a friend. That is why I believe in the Nintendo 64.